guys, so you always hear me talk about Midas Gold Group, my friend James Clark. I actually want to see gold and silver and hold it in my hands. So we're going to go in right now, and I'm going to get a tour of Midas Gold Group's facility right here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm going to take you in with me. Check it out.
Hey, Chad, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Chad.
Morning,
Nice to
Matt.
see you.
How are you?
How you doing? Welcome.
See some gold?
Please. We got it all out for you.
All right.
Thanks for coming in, man.
We got a treasure chest here,
Treasure test. That's the edible gold.
but this is edible. This is chocolate.
Filled with chocolate, yes. Have a seat. All right. Pretty much a good example of everything gold and silver. You know, you have basically, your basic bars, right? These are 100-ounce bars, nice and heavy here for effect.
All right. This feels nice.
So typically when you do like the larger stuff, 100 ounce, which is what these are, lower premium,
Right.
Right? Because it's almost like buying in bulk.
Right?
This is the sovereign U.S. coin. That's called an American Eagle.
Okay.
And that was done by Ronald Reagan in 1986.
When you talk about like I mean, for me, like the concern of the electronic grid going down,
Right.
Financial market crashing, and now you have to have gold and silver in hand. So like, I want to have this for prepping. It's better to have smaller. Like, you don't want a bunch of bricks. You can't trade with a bunch of bricks, right?
That's
You need,
the
smaller,
idea.
Smaller
Yeah.
coins.
I would say if you're doing silver, the silver I buy, I would want something recognizable, right? This is actually considered legal tender.
Right.
It's recognizable. It's produced by the U.S. Mint. The U.S. Mint's a division of the Treasury Department. Therefore, this is real money, right? It actually has a $1 denomination on it. This is stuff I would go. This carries a little bit more premium than just your standard 1 ounce silver. This is a silver round. I look at this stuff more as a savings tool because my view is that the banks are in a lot of trouble, right? The banks are sitting on just derivatives, toxic assets, right? Stuff that you wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Those are the people holding the money.
Yeah.
And people, it's like, you got to see the forest through the trees. And that's what people, like, my main job is fighting cognitive dissonance in people. People don't want to, you have $34 trillion of debt. There's going to be problems from that, right? You're not going to just get away with that.
Right. Can you define like what fiat currency?
It's money backed by nothing.
Yeah.
It's counterfeiting. It's literally modern day counterfeiting.
Yeah.
Right? Money printing is just counterfeiting money.
Right.
The government can do it, but we
You
can't.
can't do it, right?
We can't do it.
It has no backing at all. It says this.
The way money's supposed to work is that you want to tie it to a hard asset like gold. You could even tie it to oil, right?
Sure.
But instead of Middle Eastern oil, let's tie it to U.S. oil.
It's going to be backed by something.
It's got to be backed by something.
Outside of the
There's
paper
intrinsic
shred.
value in oil. I think what you want to do is kind of the way our money used to work is you used to have diversification in the dollar. So you have multiple types of U.S. dollars.
So-
Nowadays, we just have one type. It's just a Federal Reserve note.
So when you come up with a term like fiat currency, it's basically saying it's tied to nothing, but
But don't worry, we're from the government. We're here to help.
exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm here, and I really believe in people owning gold, silver, lead, bullets, stockpile these items because man, when everything goes down, you have to have some tangible assets on hand, and it's just a good place, a safe place, even if it doesn't ever go down. It's a good, safe place to have your money in gold and silver because it's backed by.
And it's instantly liquid. This is, looks shiny and fancy. It's just money. That's all
Right.
it is at the end of the day. It's just money. It's real
So
money.
if you had this, pocket full of these and I want to turn it into cash, you just go to the bank.
Come in here.
Here?
I could turn it into, it's called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably about 22 grand right there. I could have that wired to you in 20 minutes from right now.
Where if someone's not near a physical Midas location, where would they go?
So they can call us up.
Yeah.
We can overnight stuff to them. They can overnight stuff to us. We have people that send us, from Alaska, New York, you name it. They mail us their gold and silver in, right? They ship it in overnight. We'll get it. We'll run it through the trusty old spectrometer just to verify it's real.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll call them up. We'll say, hey, you got $22,000 of gold, whatever it is, and we'll wire them the funds right then and there instantly. Yeah. So it's actually a lot of people think like, oh, it's gold and silver. What can I do with it? It's instantly liquid. And I think what it's going to be is the confidence builder in the new financial system.
Right.
I think you're going to still have a digital component, but digital component in terms of ease of access.
Yeah.
Quick transactions, cheap transactions, right? Instantaneous transactions. There's a lot to be said about digital, but you want to tie it to something real.
I mean, we could get in a whole rabbit trail about digital currency, but I mean, term digital currency scares the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pretty strong person of faith. I read the Bible, and the end times talks about, mark of the beast, and everybody thinks
Throwing their
mark of
gold in the
beast, right?
streets.
Yeah, I mean, like, they can't stop you from buying, selling, or trading if you have gold. But if you're tied to digital currency,
Correct.
they could stop you from buying, selling, trading.
It's something that you could trade. I think what a digital currency would realistically do is create a grassroots movement in trading in this stuff.
Right.
Right.
It'd be, yeah.
People would say, hey,
Cash.
here, paint my house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Be bootleg cash.
Bootleg cash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think with the problems that the banks they're in right now, they have no way out of it. So I think what this will be when people lose their money in the banks potentially or lose a portion, people are going to demand to go back to physical assets.
Right. It's a gram. What's a gram of gold?
Probably $100.
$100.
So really, I like bars. Don't get me wrong, bars are great. You can make the case gold is gold. I like recognizable stuff like coinage, U.S. coinage specifically.
Yeah.
These are just rounds. These are not produced by the mint. These are just a private mint, but these are Treasury Department essentially, and those are the 10th ounce of those.
10. Okay.
Yeah, so you have a half ounce here.
This is mint.
That's a U.S. mint. Yep, same coin as this, just in a 10th of an ounce.
$100.
That's about 200 and change.
But the silver, like this size as well, right?
There is. I wouldn't recommend it. Small denomination like the Libertad. It's expensive silver. I wouldn't recommend it for practical purposes.
Yeah.
If you're going to go small size like this, I would do like junk silver. Pre 1965, quarters, dimes, half dollars, that kind of thing.
Okay. Oh, because it was made pre-1965 was actually
It was silver, right. And if you look at the timeline, they got rid of gold in 1933, right,
Okay.
after the Great Depression, and then fast forward to 1963, they killed Kennedy, who did Executive Order 11110, which would back essentially the dollar with silver.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, they killed him.
Right.
Right. 64, they did the commemorative half dollar, and then they phased silver out of our money by 1970.
Yeah.
1971 took us off the gold standard, full fiat ever since.
I'm super interested in that. You kind of ran through that, but you're saying the assassination of Kennedy.
Yes.
I mean, clearly he was assassinated.
Yes.
It wasn't by some crazy person.
I think it was our own government.
Right.
I think it was the CIA.
So and they would have did that because how's that tied to the currency?
Because he had big visions for the United States in terms of many things, but specifically our money. He wanted to tie our money to silver because gold was not legal to own at the time.
Right.
Right. They'd already Communist Roosevelt already sold us out.
That's what I'm saying.
over there.
Roosevelt made it forbid citizens
Correct.
from owning gold.
I think what he did is he took advantage of the fallout from the 1929 crash.
Right.
And said, "Oh, everybody turn in their gold, we'll be fine again." So people said, "Okay, turn in your gold." Now the government, right, biggest insider trading scam of all time. Fast forward to 1963, Kennedy wrote Executive 11110, which essentially would have backed our smaller denomination bills with silver, right? It would have made it convertible into silver money. So you used to be able to bring gold or silver to the bank and they'd give you a bill.
Right.
So just translate that to today. You could put it on a debit card.
Sure.
It's no different, right? So digital still will play a component, but it's just interesting when you look on the timeline how they literally over time took our money out. They just stripped the real money out.
So Kennedy does that.
They kill him
And how long after?
instantly. By 1964, that was the last year of silver money. They did the half dollar and 40% from 65 through 70, but the quarters, dimes, there's no more dollar coins. All of that was clad copper.
So with all that said, clearly our system's broken intentionally. But even if people don't agree with that, why is it important for citizens to own hard gold and silver?
Because it's just money at the end of the day.
Right.
And I think we're going to see a massive hyperinflation period. Trump said on January 21st, 2020. He said that hyperinflation is going to kill you.